gift. And for today's video, it will be very different from my usual videos that I made before. And so, if you've ever sent a text message and immediately thought, wait, did I just sound like a complete mess? Then this video is just for you. For today's video, we're going to talk about those sneaky little grammar mistakes, or maybe big, that literally everyone makes. And yes, I just said literally on purpose. And we'll get on that one later. But first, who decides what's correct grammar anyway? Plot twist, it's not your English teachers. It's not us. It's not me. We've got linguists like Noam Chomsky, who study how our brain actually processes language, and Steven Pinker, who argues that grammar rules should make sense, not just follow tradition. Then there are the grammar guardians like Lynn Strauss. I hope I pronounce her name correctly. She is the Eat, Shoots, and Leaves author who literally wrote a whole book about punctuation. And let's not forget about William Strong Jr., if I'm correct, and E.B. White, whose Elements of Style has been haunting students since like 1919. But here's the culprit. Modern linguists are showing us that correct grammar is really about effective communication and not just following dusty old rules. Okay, quick real talk. I wasn't always a grammar nerd. In high school, I wrote once an entire essay using who when I should have used whom. And my teacher circled every single one with red ink. So brutal. Now, I'm pretty good with my punctuations. Probably because I overthink every comma and even period. I can spot a misspelled apostrophe sometimes, especially when I'm sitting with my seatmate. And I actually enjoy the puzzle of figuring out complex sentences structures. But I still second guess myself on lie versus lay every single time, or words that I find very confusing. And don't get me started with semicolons and even M dashes. I either avoid them completely or use them like confetti when I'm trying to sound fancy. And I also catch myself always saying like as a filler word way too much in every conversation that I'm in. Even now in this video, I think I've said so many like word now. The point is, we're all working in progress. We're still learning, so it's okay. Now let's go to the words that we always misuse or mistakes that we always make. Mistake number 1. Could care less versus couldn't care less. Okay. So those language experts would definitely catch this one. And I learned this one not just recently, I think, because I told my professor way back senior high school I could care less about an assignment extension. She paused and said, So you do care? Awkward. When you say, I could care less about the exam, you're actually saying you do care. If you could care less, that means you have some care to give. What you really meant is, I couldn't care less. Since it's impossible for you to care any less than you already do. Did you get it? Now let's go to mistake number 2. Literally. Now about literally. This one breaks the internet and divides linguists. I literally used to say literally in every other sentence until my close friends or classmates started counting. Turns out I was saying like 10 to 15 times in one conversation about my favorite books. Traditionally, literally means actually happening, not figuratively. So, when you mean I literally died laughing, means you're still here. But this descriptive linguist says this is just language evolution, while prescriptive grammarians are still not having it. But dictionaries now accept both uses, so the descriptivists are kind of winning on this one. And we are down to the last and final grammar boss. Mistake number 3. Who or whom? Those words haunted me since like senior high or high school days. That red ink essay I meant. Who versus who? I finally learned this cheat code recently. Before I graduated, of course. In high school. Replace it with the word he or him. Now, if he sounds right, you use who. And if him sounds right, you should use whom. Now, here's an example. Who ate my pizza? Now the answer is he ate my pizza. Now for the word whom, to whom should I give this? And the answer is give this to him. That's how it works. It's not really that confusing actually when you learn it, but I think along the way it's still a bit confusing for most of us, right? Now, look, here's what all these language experts agree on. Whether you're Team Chomsky or Team Traditional Grammar, language is about communication, not perfection. I'm still learning, you're still learning, we're all still learning, and we're going to learn more things in the future. Because life is a continuous, or it is a long journey of learning, and that's okay. My biggest grammar strength is probably my willingness to admit that I'm wrong and I keep improving. While my biggest weakness is still, maybe I Google words like affect versus effect, or just any word that I find confusing when I write a formal letter or I'm going to send a a message to my professors, because it's very, very, very embarrassing if I send, or I'll try to send a letter with those mistakes. So, what grammar mistakes drives you crazy? Or what's your grammar weakness? Drop it in the comments and I might feature it in the next video. And if this helped you feel a little more confident about your grammar game, hit that like button and subscribe. See you next week. And remember, good grammar is like good hygiene. People notice it when it's missing. Peace out.